Hey, it's Ramsey Dewey over here in Shanghai, China. Welcome to another edition of Q&A with the Coach. If you have questions for the next Q&A with the Coach, please leave them in the comments down below. I appreciate all of your comments. Today's question comes from Random Dudes. I don't know if this is one person or more than one person, but it says, I am starting BJJ. What should I expect on the first day and any stretching I can do before to help? Oh, there's a doorbell. I'm not going to answer it, though. I've got my people for that. So, Random Dudes, you're starting jiu-jitsu. Congratulations, that's fantastic. What can you expect on your first day? Well, there are lots of variables out there. It's going to be different from school to school. But if your jiu-jitsu school is like most jiu-jitsu schools, you're going to put on your uniform. You're going to go out there and line up. The instructor's going to say some things. He's probably going to lead you through some type of warm-up where you do some stretches and movements that will warm you up and help you get ready to roll and train without being seriously injured. Or they might skip straight into technique. Some instructors believe that teaching technique is a good warm-up, but most schools have a warm-up of some kind where, again, they will teach you stretches and movements that you can and should do to help you get better at jiu-jitsu. Also, this is something not every school does. Stretch after, particularly stretch your back. Because while doing jiu-jitsu, the back tends to be compressed, especially when you're in the guard, and this can be quite deceptive because we don't generally think of having the spine compressed and squished in unnatural ways, lying on our back, but when there's a person on top of you attempting to use violent action to move around you against your will, that is something that happens. So stretch out your back afterward. A few basic yoga stretches like downward dog, upward facing dog, stretching your one arm out and the other leg out in opposite directions. Those are great stretches for your back. You don't have to use anything complicated. So going back to what to expect. So you're going to go through some type of warm-up or maybe use technique as the warm-up. They'll get into technique. They'll show you probably a move or a sequence, and then you'll drill it. You'll rep it out with some training partners. Let's say, for example, maybe they'll teach you an arm bar on the first day. Here is an arm bar. Here's a setup for the arm bar. Then you will train with a partner. You'll learn how to put your arms and legs in the right place to make the move work. And if you have questions, ask the instructor, hey, I don't understand this part. Can you please explain it again? A lot of people are really scared to say that, especially on the first day, because they want to make a good impression. I want the instructor to think that I learned everything by seeing it just one time. Yeah, that's the rare exception, not the norm. So if you have questions, get the most bang for your buck and ask those questions. So please formulate some questions. If we don't ask the questions, we will never find the answers. Now, man, what's going on in the back? My kids are having a wild conversation back there, which is probably being picked up on this microphone, but we're rolling. We're going to keep going. So speaking of rolling, after you do these techniques, a lot of gyms will jump straight into rolling, which is the sparring of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, meaning you're going to grapple. You're going to fight without strikes. You might start from a different position. A lot of schools start on the ground. Some start from the feet. They might have a specific drill, situational grappling that drill that day, like we will start from back mount or we will start from full mount. But you're going to roll. You're going to do some live drills where your training partner will be actively trying to use the techniques that you just learned against you. And you will be doing the same. Now, what can you expect? You're probably not going to be any good at it on day one. Most people are not. It's a skill you have to invest a lot of time into in order to develop skills. So please do not be disappointed if you are not a virtuoso on day one. Keep your mind open. Keep your heart open. Keep your options open. And make sure, I would recommend this, get a notepad and a pencil or a pen. And after the class, write down your impressions. Write down what you learned. You don't have to take thorough, detailed notes on every movement, but write down what you learned. And you'll find if you do this consistently, what you learned will stick with you just a little bit better. Why? Because you have participated more integrally in the process of learning. You become an active participant by writing down what you have learned as opposed to simply being an observer. You become a doer of the word instead of simply an observer or a hearer, if you will. Have fun at your jiu-jitsu class and keep showing up over and over and over and over and over again and never stop. Thanks for watching. Now get out there and train.